So I never really considered myself an art critic, but a couple weeks ago I was invited by a friend of mine, his name is Joda, to attend an event called Art Plus Issues at the Hunter Art Museum. Joda was speaking about Chattanooga's urban identity. And the painting he chose to speak about was actually 3 panels. A painting of Philadelphia, New York, New Jersey, and New York City. They were all nightscapes, how you would see a city from a pretty high vantage point at night. Joda began leading a discussion, speaking about Chattanooga, and he asked us, do you see Chattanooga in these paintings? And the crowd responded and began to say, yes, this is like a view of Chattanooga looking from Lookout Mountain, how you would see the city at night. And then another guy raised his hand and said, you know, actually, you could see this view of Chattanooga from a plane that you could easily rent and fly over the city. And in my head, I'm thinking to myself, maybe I can buy this is an accessible view from Lookout Mountain, but I really can't buy that this is a view like anyone could see from a plane. So any of my friends would tell you I'm no stranger to conflict. And I raised my hand and I said, I really want to challenge us to consider our perspectives on accessibility. I said, I'm going to completely dismiss the fact that the notion this is an accessible view from a private plane because most individuals can't buy a private plane or rent one. But secondly, I really want to challenge us to think about how accessible this view is from Lookout Mountain. One, if you don't have a car, you're not going up Lookout Mountain because the buses don't go there. But secondly, if you don't feel like Lookout Mountain is a space for you, if you look in the hills and you think those people don't look like me, and those people don't share the same experiences as me, you don't feel like that is a space for you. And so as we were going back and forth in the discussion, I could tell we were speaking different languages. His notion of accessibility and my notion of accessibility were entirely different. That tension in our dialogue and the tension in that room was merely a microcosm of the tension we face as a city. And that's what I want to discuss today. I want to paint 2 pictures in the theme of art. One is the optically beautiful Chattanooga that we all know and love, the one that we brag about. And the other is a picture of Chattanooga that we often forget. So here's the first picture. In 2012, Chattanooga was named one of 45 cities in the world to visit. Only 4 U.S. cities were on that list. The Washington Post named Chattanooga one of America's best mid-sized cities. Parade magazine named us one of America's reborn cities. And the U.S. News and World Report named Chattanooga one of 6 cities worldwide that works to creating great urban experiences. Even our bridges get critical acclaim. The American Planning Association named Chattanooga's Walnut Street Bridge one of America's 10 great public spaces. And here's another interesting fact. NPR News, the morning edition, named Chattanooga one of America's great cities. And they said it for 3 reasons. 1, we have an amazing sense of civic pride and community. 2, we have handsome natural landscapes. But 3, we have the ability to solve problems that are otherwise daunting to large cities. I mean, we have the gig. We have the fastest and most pervasive internet in the United States. We have an amazing food culture. Anywhere you can go in Chattanooga, you can find a local restaurant. We have an amazing arts culture. People all over the city are singing and dancing and painting our story. But unfortunately, they're only singing and dancing half of that story. 27% of Chattanoogans live under the poverty line. That's compared to 15% nationally. 2/3 of our poorest households in Chattanooga are headed by single mothers. And 40% of our children in Chattanooga live in poverty. And that's nearly double the state rate. We have incredible challenges of income inequality. When Volkswagen came to town a couple years ago, they offered 2,000 jobs paying at $19.50. Over 80,000 people applied for those jobs. For every home making $200,000 in Chattanooga, there are 20 homes making less than $50,000. And when we look at Chattanooga and the ratio of homes making large sums of money and those who are living in poverty, we note that we rank 12th in the top 100 metro areas for income inequality. And last year we noticed that over 50% of the income earned by all Chattanoogans was earned by the top 20% of income earners. We also face incredible challenges in the way of housing. 1 in 2 Chattanoogans are burdened by housing costs, finding it unaffordable to live in our city. 1 in 4 renters pay over 50% of their income just to rent in Chattanooga. And we note that we have incredible challenges in public housing. Harriet Tubman is on its way down. College Hill Courts is on its way down. And though it's not depicted here, Eastlake Courts as well will soon be closing. So both income and housing inequality, but we also have problems of inequality in the field of education. 17% of adults in Chattanooga are without a high school diploma. And in our lowest performing elementary schools, 80 to 90% of our third graders are performing below grade level. And in our middle schools, 74 to 94% of our 8th graders are reading below grade level. And when it comes to post-secondary education attainment, Chattanoogans rank behind the national average about 7%. That is the side of Chattanooga that we often don't talk about. The side of Chattanooga that is plagued by structural inequality and disproportionately affects women and people of color. There is no doubt over the past 25 years that our city has experienced an amazing urban renaissance. We were once called the dirtiest city in America, but civic leaders and practitioners and residents came together to build a city that is now environmentally sustainable, clean, and culturally vibrant. And although that success and growth has been notable, it has not been shared equitably. For some individuals, Chattanooga's urban growth has meant an increase in job opportunity and an increase in amazing luxury condos in downtown. But for others, it has meant increased unemployment and job scarcity. The challenges that we face as a city are hard, but the mere fact that they are hard cannot be an excuse for us not to address them. We didn't say it was too hard when we wanted to bring the gig to Chattanooga. We didn't say it was too hard when we wanted to attract Amazon and Volkswagen to Chattanooga. We didn't say it was too hard when we wanted a 21st century waterfront. And we didn't say it was too hard when we wanted the Tennessee Aquarium. So we can't say it's too hard now when people's lives are literally in the balance. I posit to you today that the challenges that we face as a city are not unique to Chattanooga. Cities all over the country, cities all over the world, in fact, are grappling with these challenges. But I'm asking us to be different. I'm asking us to approach these challenges in a way that no other city has or can. I'm asking us to wow the world again. But if we want to do that, if we want to be, as Mayor Burke notes, one of the best mid-sized cities in America, we have to bring together civic innovators, higher education and secondary education leaders, foundation leaders, business leaders, elected officials, people in this very room. We have to come together to create a vision for Chattanooga that is bold, that is innovative, that is inclusive, but it has to be a vision that always privileges equity over optics. Thank you.